Abraxas Band with Abel Aragon on
You
guitar,
got this up.
featuring the music of Santana.
Hi, everybody. We're getting
Ron
ready to do a
Ivory,
tribute,
One on
candlelight
One,
tribute to
featuring
Carlos
the music
Santana.
of Motown. It all happens Saturday, November 4th at 7 p.m. Buy tickets online at brightonarmory.org. Tickets are only $10 in advance or at the door. Seating is limited. Sponsored by Brighton Cultural Arts Center. Proceeds to benefit Almost Home. Don't forget this night of tributes to three bands, three tributes, one night at the Armory Performing Arts Center. Don't you miss it in Brighton, Colorado. For more information, call 303 455 2326. Hey, this is Paul Chavez, Mr. International. As I sit here and ponder at all the years past in the world of media, after 40 some years and being at KBNO and the Latin Connection, having great success with that program, KDKO, and 11 plus years there, working at Telemundo Univision, and now, of course, working with KUHS, taking it to a whole different level. Never thought I'd be heard worldwide, but that is a technology that KUHS is light years ahead of the other stations, and it brings me the opportunity to uh, get a genre together that I see fit for my particular audience. I want to take the time out to thank you for being locked into Deep Cuts every Saturday from 10 to 12 and for supporting this radio station. Commercial free, same time, it's not
Everybody,
intrusive, and we thank you.
we're
We
just
have
getting ready right
officially
now
Paul
for the
Chavez,
show.
Mr. International, at KUHSdenver.com.
I like that. And here we
Wish
go.
I could share every memory that I had with my father. Some of them will always be my memories, but I wish, could share more.
Al Hurricane Jr. has been flooded with phone calls of condolences from his father's fans far and wide.
But when I do get a fan, they're crying. And they're telling me, I can't believe your father's gone. And I start being emotional too. And a lot of people, some of the people I know, some people I don't know, they're his fans. And I think it's going to have quite an impact on New Mexico.
The fond memories are never ending. Al Jr. has been alongside his father on his music career for 46 years.
He started singing at a really young age, 5 years old. He picked up a guitar. That I can remember, he started singing.
Hurricane had humble beginnings in Old Town, where he first took up performing in public.
He would sing for tips. There in La Placita, La Hacienda, right in there, right by the wishing well. He put his tip jar and he'd just start singing to people.
As his popularity soared, Al Hurricane was not the first nickname he considered.
Can't remember all of them, but I remember some of them. I remember my dad saying we tried Al Banana in his bunch. I was like, what that Al Banana in his bunch? Come on.
He soon settled with Al Hurricane, a name that so many will remember. Although his father and son recently co-wrote some songs, but Al Hurricane was not strong enough to record them. Al Jr. says he will someday record those songs, whether he'll do it himself or his sister Erica, who also sings. Guys, back to you.
There you have it. There you have it. Good afternoon to you. Bienvenidos a todos. Today's show is going to be a day of celebration, not of somber, because, with Al Hurricane and doing his farewell tour, he actually came to Denver. And we say, hello, world. This is Paul Chavez, Mr. International. Just to give you a little background, I grew up in New Mexico. Listening to New Mexico music. I actually got inspired by a gentleman by the name of the Brown Bear. He was a DJ at KABQ in Albuquerque, Nuevo Mexico. And they used to do a live remote every Sunday from the Far West nightclub. And for those of you who are from the Southwest, you probably remember the Far West nightclub, which later on turned into called the Tumbleweed. but it was owned by the Sanchez family, Al Hurricane and his family. And a lot of those groups that came out of New Mexico actually made their debut there at the Far West nightclub. And what intrigued me is listening on Sundays. I jump into my sister's car and wear out her battery, you know, the old cars, listening to this remote and listening to music from Al Hurricane and Tiny Maury, Baby Gaby, and the rest of the crew there. But I'll tell you what, it's touching the hearts and soul of the entire Southwest. It's near and dear to me because not only do I have a stake at this, I had two nephews that actually performed with Al Hurricane, not just for a couple of months, for years. One is Robbie Jude, who went out and actually became a star in his own right. We'll be talking with him in just a little while. Also, my nephew Nathan Richards, who played with Al Hurricane and actually went to Spain and recorded a song of Al Hurricane, and we'll be talking about that in just a little bit. It's a pleasure having you. Once again, un especial particularmente para Al Hurricane, que falleció el domingo pasado. Nos dejó pues un afuero en el estado de Nuevo México, pero dejó una leyenda en la música nuevo mexicana. I would say that music from Al Hurricane, he is the man who really created that sound, that New Mexico music. And those of you listening in right now, we're going to have some special guests, including Danny Valenzuela, longtime DJ in the Denver area and radio personality. We'll have Jammin' Joe. We'll have Bob Chavez. We'll have Robbie Jude, and a former owner of KBNO in Ed Romero, who's actually was very initiative, is that a word? Very inspiring, very instrumental in bringing Al Hurricane not once but 20 times, and every time they came with the Al Hurricane band, all the promoters made money, including this guy to my left by the name of Henry Archuleta and Archuleta Promotions. Let's start off with some music. Today, it's a candlelight broadcast that we're doing, and it's un homenaje especial para Al Hurricane on KUHS. Vámonos con la música de Al Hurricane. Que viva para siempre la música nuevo mexicana. ¡Vámonos! We're doing a special right now for Al Hurricane. Hi, everybody. We do have a phone number you could call. The number is 720-386-0513. 720-386-0513. Okay, we're getting ready to bring on Mr. Ed Romero right now. And I'm going to talk with Al Hurricane. Not Al Hurricane, but I'm going to talk with Ed. Hi, Ed. This is Paul. We're about 2 minutes to go on, okay? Okay. Hold on. Okay, Ed Romero will be going on next. Don't bring him up until the song's over with, okay? We're getting ready to bring on Ed Romero. He's a former member or owner and operator of KBNO Radio, 1220 AM in the Denver area. And he was one of the guys that actually was instrumental in introducing the music of Al Hurricane in the Denver area. So we got him online right now. And if I can find my eyes, I could be a lot better. You know what I did with him? Okay. Well, we'll play it by ear. Okay. Okay. Here we go. Library. And okay, here we go, Ed. We're about ready. Both of them. Yes, again, we're doing a live broadcast, candlelight broadcast for the one and only Al Hurricane, the Godfather of New Mexico, and a gentleman that was very instrumental in me being in radio. I've got to say this publicly, and I've said it in clubs, but I've got an opportunity to say this in front of the whole world. A gentleman by the name of Ed Romero. Ed Romero, owner and operator of KBNO Radio, who was instrumental in just not, giving me the opportunity, but many others before and after me, an opportunity to get in the broadcast business, and a lot of them are still in there, including Rodolfo Cárdenas, Luis Canela. And we say good morning or good afternoon to Senor Ed Romero. How you doing, Ed?
Paul, it's nice to talk to you. It's been a little while, so I'm pleased to be talking to you today about Al Hurricane.
It's go ahead.
Paul, if I can tell you, he was there's an affinity between Colorado and New Mexico as it termed for all the music that was created in New Mexico. And if you remember, I always like to say about those times that they were the good old days because we had great concerts all the time and great dances. Adams County, we'd have them at the Hilton Hotel downtown, and we brought in all the major stars from all over the country and internationally.
Right.
But the affinity between New Mexico and Colorado was there all the time, and Al and Roberto Griego and others came here, and they just were great times. And I got to know all these guys personally, of course.
Right.
As they would come in a day or two before, and we'd have lunch and dinner and that kind of thing. So it was great times.
So tell me, with Al Hurricane, I know you said you brought him to Denver, and playing at the Hilton downtown at that time. Let's face it, there was still a little prejudice going on. What do you mean you want to bring all these Chicanos into my hotel? Come on, Ed. You know what was going on.
No, that's very true, and I think we proved over a long period of time that our community was a viable community. And then, Paul, if you remember, we even used to take over Larimer Square.
Yes.
And we had thousands of people come downtown for the concerts, and they were just great times with the music of our community. And the consistent, the shows that we had with you and Luis and
Rodolfo, yeah.
Cárdenas, all the guys, we were innovative and we had great times with Radio Que Bueno. We did. Those were just some wonderful years for me.
Well, you were bilingual before bilingual was cool. I remember we used to sit in meetings and we used to sit and talk before we did the Latin Connection, and we talked about how is the Mexicano community going to take this, where we're doing a bilingual show on Spanish radio, and you were really a front runner in that area, and we said, we're going for it. We're putting it on an afternoon drive, and the rest was history, wasn't it, Ed?
Oh, it was, and it was so much fun. Our community is a very progressive community. People have a tendency to pigeonhole us, but listen, our community is progressive. It's growing dramatically from even those times because I was there from 1974 through 1989, and if you look at how fast our community has grown, we went. We're a community of 1.5 million in the state of Colorado, and a huge portion of that is right here in Denver.
Absolutely.
So we've seen all the changes come, and I think we were leaders at the time.
Absolutely, and I think you are one of those. I know you're kind of a humble man, but you did make your footprint in the world of music, in the world of making people understand that just because Tierra is playing R&B music. They're Latinos highlighted in all forms of contemporary music, and we did it. And you know, you're the man up there, you know, to be proven to. And a lot of times people like to, you know, they say, "Tráeme las flores antes que me muera." Ahora, I'm telling you, you are a forefronter, man, and I've got you to appreciate and say thank you. But this thing with Al Hurricane, you know, how many times do you think you brought him into town?
We brought him at least 20, 25 times.
Wow.
And, you know, we would space it out because uh, we thought that between him and the other stars that we used to bring, he brought that, what I call that hometown music, the Jetta music. And we'd
Yes.
go out there and do the all the
The
dances.
cumbias
I
and-
loved, I never missed a dance.
That is
Never. I mean, those were the great times of my life
that's
with El
awesome.
Hurricane.
That is awesome. Well, I just wanted to take a little moment to talk to you and start with you because you know, you were the first radio station. You were the first person that gave me the opportunity in the Denver area, and I brought that knowledge. And I was talking about how I used to listen to radio, AM radio in Albuquerque, and listen to live remotes with Al Hurricane and the Brown Bear. I don't know if you remember a guy, the DJ named the Brown Bear, but he really inspired me and made me want to really get into music. And you happen to be in, you know, where I needed to be, and the rest is history, as they say. And I wish you the best. We thank you for
Well,
taking
thank
this
you. And
moment.
we're gonna miss El Hurricane, to say the least.
We definitely
Right.
are.
So-
We're going to miss
And
him.
Paul, thank you for calling me. It's great to share some memories from those times. So
So
thanks so much for having me on.
Ed Romero and KBNO will be one and the same. Thank you so much, and thank you for bringing bilingual. Bilingual was cool when it wasn't cool. You made it happen. Thank you so much, Ed.
Thank you.
All right.
Thank you. Okay, bye.
La música de El Hurricane on KUHSdenver.com, and we just had Mr. Ed Romero, and I'll tell you what, Ed Romero was definitely a player. Más música. Now, we are live on KUHS, remembering the life and times of Al Hurricane. They're going to be a special rosary for him tonight in Albuquerque, and tonight they will, tomorrow, they will lay him to rest. And it is a situation where it's somber, but at the same time, we're happy that you know, he's no longer suffering. He leaves some great music behind. Besides Al Hurricane Jr., he's got several nieces and nephews, including but not limited to the Sparks, Lorenzo Antonio, Tiny Mori, Baby Gaby, and that's pretty much it. The music speaks for itself. Once again, it's a live candlelight tribute, candlelight broadcast for Al Hurricane and the music, the times, and what people actually spent with him. You imagine this guy brought him in over 20 times to the Denver area. That's not including how many times this guy left me brought him, and we'll talk to him before the show is over with. We're talking about none other than Henry Archuleta and Archuleta Promotions. Right now, we're listening to music that put him on the map. It's called Mi Saxophone, and that's the song that actually put him on the map, and the rest, as they say, is history. The Patch and El Hurricane's Eye, we'll tell you about that after this next song. We're going to go live. Danny Valenzuela. Yes, KUHSdenver.com. Let's put you on the air there. KUHSdenver.com. Once again, it's Mr. International, Paul Chavez, and let's put the Mr. Valenzuela. Dan, are you with me? Danny Valenzuela. Hey, there he is. ¿Qué pasa, mi raza? How you doing, Danny?
Pretty good. Just come from Walmart.
Vámonos a Walmart. Good, Danny. Danny.
There's no Bronco games. We go to Walmart.
I hear that, Danny. I'll tell you, man. Man. How many years have you and I known each other? Come on.
We're almost children.
Right. 30,
36, 38.
Those of you who don't know, Danny Valenzuela worldwide is we call him Cuervo, DJ Cuervo. What else do we call you? It's kind of like me. We change MC Cuervo, Danny D, MC Cuervo, and then just don't call him like
Master Blaster.
The Master Blaster. When we're working at Rachel's, definitely. You know, we're doing this.
Yeah.
We're doing this tribute to Al Hurricane, and boy, you have got some great stories. You had your own record store at one time, and Al Hurricane talks about. You know, when internet came in and all that came in, he didn't like it very much because he couldn't sell his albums anymore. But tell me some of the stories of you and Al Hurricane when they were selling music and any special moment that you had. Danny Valenzuela, once again, from KUVO, is on KUHS right now with us. Go ahead, Danny.
So I had the Latin Night CD with Dave, and he asked for nothing. He bring the CDs. I told him, I'll sell them. You bring them, I'll sell them. So whenever I played, we would sell them. And believe me, we both made a lot of money. And we were both happy. So, and he always liked coming to Colorado. It was always a good time. And he liked it. He didn't like it when the CDs came around, and so I started selling some of them for him at the record store, the flea market. So Danny was really happy.
Yes, sir, and of course,
and not just his, but a bunch of them that he had from his record company, the Smith King records.
Yes.
And he transferred them all. He transferred them all to CD. And
yes.
People love them.
Now, Alta Vista, that's not his label, is it? It's Hurricane Records. Alta Vista was his, wasn't it?
No, Alta Vista was Erwin Martinez.
Oh, okay, my bad. Okay, I've been away from Albuquerque for a little bit. So it was Hurricane Records, and man, he had so much success through the family. You know, I paid a little bit of a first interview that's been done since his passing. Al Jr., man, he's definitely hurting. You know, that was his right hand man, his son, everything. You know,
they were always together.
Yes, and
but Al could still play that mean guitar, man.
He would, and I tell everybody, and I was going to try and get AJ Martinez, who actually kind of imaged just Al and have learned a lot. And Al would teach him. Al would teach him how to do all those riffs, because you know New Mexico music, and you talked about it last night on your show. You came from Texas. You really didn't know a lot about New Mexico music, but once you got used to it, it kind of grows in you, doesn't it?
Yeah, it does. It's got a nice little beat, and you can dance to it.
Yeah. It's like
what his name used to say.
Like you're going to a baile, like you're going to a wedding all the time.
Yeah.
I hear you.
But no, it was always good. He had the best music, and he'd always come on Hurricane's music to get the party started, and they rev it up and keep it going. But he had so many songs, so many different ways, and he's just a loss. It's that loss.
Definitely.
You know, miss the guy in the music. You know, I talked to his mom a lot when I had the record store.
Right.
Because she was the one that took the orders, so she was still doing too. But she was the one that took the orders, and she was trying out to send me a packet, like a scrapbook type stuff.
Right.
Of Al Hurricane when he was little and his career and stuff. It's kind of cool stuff. You got to look at it one of these days.
Right, definitely. Well, you know, there's a lot of stuff. A lot of fans are sharing a lot, and this kind of reminds me of when Juan Gabriel died. It's kind of leaving a little hole in the heart of el espíritu de Juárez
Yeah.
y ahora con nosotros de Nuevo Mexico. It's kind of leaving a little hole in our heart because and we're all going to go someday. I mean, he lived a full life. But I'll tell you what, you just don't want people to go. You want them to keep going. And it's ironic because Fats Domino just died, and he actually played with Fats Domino. He played with,
Oh, yeah. Huh?
yeah, he played with Fats
Yeah,
Domino.
yeah.
He played with Marvin Gaye, and another one that he mentioned, I forgot, Charlie Pride. I mean, he played with
Yeah.
some heavies, man. The guy was happening, and wouldn't you imagine the guy was just used to, and he reminded me again of Juan Gabriel, who used to play in the little park in the middle of the city there, and he used to do the same thing, play his guitar, and he used to play for tips, and it's kind of like the same road. Obviously, they're both gone in heaven, and I wish him the best. But hey, man, I wish you the best, Danny. It's always a pleasure, man. You're a brother from another mother. I know that
Yeah, you too, man. I wish you much success on your shows.
Thank you, my brother. And I had to have you on this show, and because I know and we know that you know a lot about the music of New Mexico now, and it's a pleasure having you and talking a little bit about Al Hurricane. All right.
Right, no problem. And it's great talking to your people and your audience. And keep jamming, keep jamming. That's all we say. Keep jamming.
There you go. Gracias, Danny Valenzuela. Catch him on
All right.
Friday.
Watch you.
Yeah, I like that. I like to watch him. Catch Danny Valenzuela Friday nights on KUVO. He's got a show going on there as well. We're going to continue with more music of none other than Al Hurricane. Any song you play by Al Hurricane is okay. Vámonos. A ver qué está. ¡Ay! Ojitos míos. Vámonos.
Is it yours? You're live. You're live.
I'm still live. So, folks, what we're playing right now is a tribute to Al Hurricane music. So there was a particular artist that played that song. We're actually going to go into some of his own music, and that's doing stuff on the fly, okay? Let's see what we got here. Return of the Godfather, we're going to play next. And that one will be mostly Al Hurricane. So what you're seeing behind me here, folks, you are seeing some performances by Al Hurricane, Tiny Maury, Baby Gaby, and he's got some brothers that's going to keep the music and keep on going. So enjoy the videos behind us, and I'm just happy I was able to spend this Sunday going and talking about the life and times of Mr. Al Hurricane. Okay, let's see if we can get another guest on the air now, real quick. Let's see. Here we go. Let's get on Jammin' Joe. Let's see what we got here. Jammin'. Here we go. This is the way we set things up to get people lined up for interviews. Are you ready? Okay, brother. Have it down. Here we go. My producer over here is doing pretty good, I must say. It's me that's messing up, folks. So how y'all doing worldwide? God, we got cameras everywhere. I don't know how to act. Well, it looks like Jammin's not ready, so...
Your call has been forwarded.
Okay, let's go into another song. Vamos a tocar otra canción. Yeah. There you go. 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 See, my engineer's got to get things going there. All right. Once again, welcome everybody. It is a candlelight broadcast for Al Hurricane. As today they will have his rosary in Albuquerque. Tomorrow they will lay him to rest. His music will live on, folks. It really will. I think his son Al Jr. is well prepared to continue the music. But even in his last days. Actually, for those of you who have checked out my Facebook, he did a performance where he was literally on a walker, and the voice that's still there, man. I'll tell you what, it still had it going on. We're gonna play some more music right now from Al Hurricane, and we're gonna. This was from the Return of the Godfather. Let's check it out. Ay corazón, sugar baby, como decía Al Hurricane. That'll never forget. Que viva la música de Al Hurricane, New Mexico. Ay, qué linda te miro, quien pudiera vivir en tu sueño, contemplar para siempre tu cara. Estamos bailando. For those of you listening and watching, I'm here on Sundays at KUHS today as we're doing a special tribute to Al Hurricane. And of course, those of you who don't know, it's been a week since we lost him in physicality and spirit. His soul, his music lives on. And I really took this to heart because I grew up with a lot of his music. For those who don't know, I am from Albuquerque, and just out there, as a matter of fact, for the International Balloon Festival representing KUHS. And there was word that he was getting turning for the worse. And there were so many artists that came out of the Al Hurricane womb. Does that make sense? He created a lot of groups that kind of took off and said, "Hey, I can do the same thing," and some of them did. Talking about Gonzalo and Robbie Jude, and you've got people like Tobias Renee, and there's some other groups that played with Al Hurricane that actually and are doing good. But there's only one Al Hurricane. That's Al Hurricane, the Godfather. We're listening to music from him right now. Tune in. Thank you all for listening. In case you haven't figured out how to tune in to the radio site, it's KUHSdenver.com. Okay? And you listen in, you get it in your car. If you got Bluetooth in your car, you get it anywhere. And crystal clear. I'll tell you what, we got some great genres going on here. Today, as we said, we're just doing a very special, you think of music, you think of New Mexico, you think of good music, you think of good red chili, you think of beans, you think of tortillas, and you think of Al Hurricane, the Godfather of New Mexico, huh? Now casinos are big. Welcome once again to KUHS. We're going to go live with another person here, see if we can get him on here. All right, there you have it. Darren Cordova was a big guy also as well. Let's see what else we got here. That little scream of his was really special too. Here's another one, Los Isabeles, that we're going to play. This is called Los Invisibles. Okay, and after that, now we're going to go to Bob Chavez. Bob Chavez went to a lot of performances. Let's see here. Let's see what we got here. He used to do a lot of corridos. He did a lot of corridos. He did a lot of remakes, but a lot of them were his, And Falso Corazon was one, and Tipi Tipi Ti was one that was done by one of his brothers. And were big. Hey, Bob. Bob, we're getting ready to go on here in about a minute 58. Okay, we're going to talk about your experience with Al Hurricane and touring around while he was with Nathan Richards, and de cómo era el vato de Suave and all that. Okay. No, nomás cómo era de Suave, cómo era de profesional, cómo era de. And we're going to talk Spanglish just like New Mexico, not to worry. I'll lead you into it, okay? No, anda medio, yo sé. What you're watching right now is. Oh, are you listening to it? Oh, okay, hold on. Ya mero, Bob. Qué bonitos dientes tienes. Ajá. Así es, que viva el Godfather de New Mexico. Estamos hablando de Al Hurricane. Bienvenidos todos que están escuchando y viendo en Facebook. Les damos los saludos. Buenas tardes a todos. Estamos haciendo un homenaje a Al Hurricane, the Godfather of New Mexico. And now I'm going to talk to the Godfather of the Chavez family, and who I don't know. Bobby probably saw this guy performing like umpteen hundred times, and a lot was because our nephew, his grandson, was in the El Hurricane band, and we talked to Bob Chavez. Bobby, ¿cómo está todo allá en Alburque?
Bien, está bien calentito aquí, muy suave. ¿And you?
Tríncate. No, pues está poco frío aquí, pero tú sabes, trincándote una Bud Light se pone todo bien.
Oh, no están jugando los Broncos, no va a beber hoy.
No, mañana juegan los Broncos. Hey, Bob, tell me, Nathan Richards, and tell me how that came along. Nathan Richards and Nathan Chavez actually played bass with Al Hurricane, and he had the opportunity to go to Spain with him. This is our nephew. Tell us about that.
Well, Nathan went to Spain, and he had never flown. And when he got to Spain, there was no hamburgers and hot dogs. I don't know what kind of food they had over there. And he used to call it, "Can you send me some beans and chili?"
I couldn't even. Pero,
okay, I'll try.
I'll try.
Other than that, he was 15 years old when he went to Spain with him.
Wow, he was only 15 years old when he went. And how did it come to be that Al Hurricane decided to pick Nathan as his bass player, and how long did he play with him?
Well, he heard him at jamming with Tobias Renee at the Tumbleweed.
Yes.
Robbie Jude couldn't make it one day, so Robbie Jude hired Nathan. That's his brother.
Yes.
So Al Jr. was there and he heard him, and he told his dad, "You know what? I heard this 15-year-old bass player that he's better than bad."
Better than shit.
Al Hurricane went to go listen to him at the state fair.
Yes.
As soon as he was done, he said, "Hey, Nathan, come over here. You want to jam with me?" And Nathan right away, "Well, yeah."
Yeah.
Yeah, you're the best.
And how long did Nathan end up playing with Al Hurricane?
5 years.
5 years. Wow, that's a lot of gigs.
I used to travel with him because Nathan was only 15 and I didn't want him to become an alcoholic at 16.
Oh yeah, Bob. I remember the last time that I saw a hurricane. It was at Church Bazaar somewhere up south. That you said let's go. It was on a Sunday. That's the last time I had an opportunity to see him. I don't remember. It was some church out south, and that's the last time I seen Nathan and El Hurricane jam together. But as you were growing up, obviously, I'm sure you used to go to all the bolotes at El Hurricane porque había toda la chavala, ¿no?
Oh, yeah, if, you wanted chicks,
Yeah.
go listen to All Hurricane where he's jamming at and you could have anybody.
There you go. And to you, Bob, well, which one did you think that Al Hurricane song that was one of your favorite?
Oh, my favorite is La Mucura.
Oh, La Mucura. You know what? I didn't
Picture
even.
and jamming.
Yeah, I'm gonna play that for sure. Well, Bobby, thank you very much. You know.
Well, let me tell you one more story.
Yeah. Tell me. Go ahead.
I used to, we used to travel with Al Hurricane. He used to have a van, used to be called the guys in the van, you know, when we traveled out of town.
Right.
And he was, he only had one eye, right?
Right.
So he was driving, and then AJ used to tell him, I can't learn that riff on the guitar. Can you show it to me? And he'd say, pass me the guitar. And he was making about 80, 90 miles an hour. So he was playing the guitar, and I used to tell him, oh, look out for that tree. Boom. That was fun.
So he's driving and showing a guitar riff to this guitar player at 80
Yeah.
miles an hour, and that's
And turning around like that, did you get it? And making 90 miles an hour.
I think,
I got super real quick.
yeah, I guess, man, that is crazy. Now, and Al used to actually be a jogger and everything, no?
What?
He used to jog a lot and everything, didn't he?
Yeah, because he had a heart attack, probably 30 years ago, and he was in condition.
Uh-huh. He was in
I
condition.
know he used to have a lot of girls that were 36 years old,
Yeah.
and they used to love him.
Okay,
I
well,
used to be jealous of him.
well, we'll leave it at that. So definitely, he could have done the song for all the girls I loved before, huh?
Oh, yeah.
All right, that's wonderful. Bob, thank you so much for taking that time. I think you had a great insight on, I mean, so many times that you were able to see, and I think you can attest to this, that and no matter where they played, how big of the venue it was, no matter how small it was, Al Hurricane would come to play, right?
Oh, yeah, and he was always jam-packed, always.
Always jam-packed.
He's the greatest.
Yeah, he is. He is the Godfather. All right. Well, it comes from a special man because you know your music, Bob, and you raised two bass players and got them in the world of music, and you got to feel proud about that. Thank you, Bob Chavez.
Oh, sure.
Bueno, Bob Chavez, Albuquerque, New Mexico. You got it. ¿Qué dice? ¿Qué decía él? ¿Qué decía el Hurricane? Sugar,
I got the sugar, baby.
There you go. Thank you, Bob Chavez.
Thank you. Here's another song we picked up a long time ago.
We're still live.
People favorite for a long time. It's called La Puerta Negra.
¡Que viva! That's perfect. Perfect. I love it. Hi, everybody. What song did he say that he liked? Oh. La Mucura. La Mucura. See if you can find it. How do you spell Mucura? Mu, like moco. coyote. Oh, don't sing like Dan was singing last night. Oh my God, I was telling him, Dan, don't sing. Listen to him. Aye. Oh man, that's a good song. There it is, Sugar Baby. There. We just found La Mucura for Bob Chavez. We are live on Facebook. Hello, Tony Duran. What's up? Tony Duran's watching. Tony Duran's pretty good DJ, and he just retired. I think he retired to like $5.8 million. Tony Duran. And we had a good time for his retirement party. He had over hot lunch. That's when I did that hot lunch gig. KUHS Denver.com. You know, that is the classic Al Hurricane. Today we're having a candlelight broadcast for Al Hurricane, conocido por todo Nuevo Mexico and around the world. You just heard about his visit to Spain and having my nephew Robbie, Nathan Richards, actually do that. You know, I got to do something for Al Hurricane right now. I just got to feel it. I got to do it. I had to do that for Al Hurricane. Vámonos! La Mucura! Bobby, here you go. Hey, what'd you do, Paul? Okay, let's try it again. Pretty good on you?
Habla en la cámara.
Primavera. He wants to hear Primavera. Bro, I don't know if Al Hurricane ever did Primavera, bro. So, Tony, you're going to have to take one for later. Because you always come up with music that I don't have. I have that one, but we're doing a tribute to Al Hurricane right now, okay? So, and this guy's got me on Facebook. I don't even have that on my phone. And he's got me on Facebook, and you can probably see my white hairs. We're on World Stream. The girls in China, the girls in Guam, they're all Facebooking me. Look at this stuff. They're all Facebooking me. Why? They say, I like your white hair. You got a lot of money. You got a lot of money.
Bronx, New York. Italy.
The Bronx, New York, Italy, Turkey. I'm going to eat some next month. What else we got? Athens, Greece, Spain. They remember our hurricane music. Spain, yeah. So anyway, yeah, that's what's happening right now, Tony. Say welcome to Facebook, everybody. We'll get more music together here for Al Hurricane. Let me see. You know, my saxophone was the actual first song that came out for Al Hurricane, and he also did me Puño de Tierra, which Puño de Tierra was a standard. You know, a lot of people redid it, but he had a lot of songs that he actually did on his own. And our next person we're going to talk to is Robbie Jude. So let's get a hold of Robbie Jude right now. Robbie Jude, of course, KUHS, Denver right now. Robbie Jude, you're next. Get ready. Robbie Jude. Robbie Jude. There he is. And here we go. This one's going to be a good one. This is going to be the next one. Robbie Jude! You ready? Okay. Ahí te voy. Espérame tantito. We're getting ready to talk to one of New Mexico's greatest New Mexico music artists right now. We're live on Facebook, and his name is Robbie Jude. And he actually got another group together. So we'll be getting ready to talk to him right now. We'll close out with him because he was probably one of the instrumental players on Al Hurricane's career. So we've got exactly 40 seconds. 40 seconds. Louis! All right. I was dancing. I got a little tired there. La Mucura. That one was for Bob Chavez. Right now we're live, going back to Albuquerque, New Mexico. The heart and soul of La Música Nuevo Mexicana, and we're talking with none other than one of the baddest, if not the baddest, bass players of all of New Mexico. Checks in the mail, right, Rob?
Yes, sir.
Robbie!
How much do I
We're talking with Robbie Jude. Robbie Jude, he's a star in his own right, and man, you played with Al Hurricane for quite a few years, didn't you?
Yes, I did. I played with Al from 1990, the end of 90 into 93. Yes, 1993. And up to as most current as last September. I was fortunate enough to when he needed a sub bass player,
Right.
he would always give me a call. And so I've been playing with him since 1990 off and on. So, yeah. Like I said, I was real fortunate that he would always call me when he needed a sub bass player. So I felt pretty good about that. Yeah.
You felt honored. You know what? That
Yes.
you know, growing up with New Mexico music, and here's what I want to talk to you about from the musician sides, because you know he's always had young musicians, and you know, usually when they say, that's my grandma's music, that's my grandpa's music, but the younger set would get into that New Mexico music, man. It wasn't like, you know, you got your funk, R&B, bam bam jamma, all this, but they'd always be players, young players wanted to play with Al Hurricane and play New Mexico music. What was that?
Well, I remember when I was 4 years old, back when my grandma used to live over in Kenny Brick. I remember listening to Mi Saxophone and El Sentimiento or Sentimiento.
Yes, yes.
And I mean, I was like 4 or 5 years old, and I was like, man, I really like this stuff. And it's funny that you said that. I wasn't, you know, the grandma or grandpa or anything.
Right.
I really, really liked that music, and I grew up with that music, and I just felt honored, like you said, you know, to play with him. And you're talking about other musicians that wanted to play with them, younger musicians. Al Hurricane would hear somebody that was really good, that had potential. You could be 15, 16 years old, and if you really liked you, he'd pick you up, and then the experience that you would gain from just playing with him was a lifetime experience. And I mean, if you wanted to stay playing with Al, you could, or you could, you know, if you wanted to play a different style of music, you could go play a different style of music. And
right.
I mean, he was always helpful to younger musicians. If you were good enough to play with him, and he saw potential, he would bring you up. You know, AJ Martinez is a good example of that.
my little brother Nathan Chavez that passed away in 2011 was another example of that. He was playing bass with him at the age of 15.
Right,
So,
right.
like I said, I could name a bunch more musicians, but
Yes, yes.
we'd be here all day. But like I said, he was just that kind of man. If he liked you, you're good. Yeah.
And how was being around El Hurricane? I hear that he had would be like a father figure to a lot of these musicians instead of just an employee of the band. Is that correct?
Yeah, he always treated everybody really well. I mean, he was always a lot older than I was when I played with him and stuff, and everybody referred to him as Pops.
Right.
And and stuff. And what you see is what you get. He was always I never seen him mad. I mean, he was pretty straight with his his attitude and temper and stuff. And I mean, he just what you see is what you get. It wasn't an act. That was the genuine Al Hurricane.
Wow, wow, that's interesting. Now,
So,
tell me about this event that you played with. Where you got a picture, which was really cool. I put it up on Facebook when he was already pretty much, he was pretty sick already. And what was that event you were doing?
I believe that was the Holy Rosary Fiestas back in 2014, and I think that's when his prostate cancer was starting to hit him pretty bad. But he was still energetic. I mean, he would have to sit down and stuff. But yeah, and then the last show I played with him, September of 2016, was out in Farmington at the San Juan Downs,
Right.
and you could tell that he had just really started to decline, and he had a hernia. And,
By the way, Robbie, we got you on Facebook right now.
yeah, no problem.
No, we got
Yeah.
we got your video on Facebook from
Oh, nice.
from when you were playing with on the anniversary tribute to Al. But anyway, I just want to show that in there. But so anyway, that was the last time you actually performed with
Yeah.
him, huh? Yes.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
great. That's great. Well, Robbie, and now you got the Robbie Jude band going, and things happen. You got a 10 of the year and all that, and that has to have a little tinge of tribute to Al from
Yes.
the inspiration that you got to continue the New Mexico music. Am I right?
Yes, absolutely correct. Yes, like I wanted to be part of that. And, I wanted to record, and I was like, it's time for me to do something, and so I did. And I have some other stuff, and I keep saying this over and over. I'm going to go ahead and start releasing some stuff. It's just
It's time.
it's time.
It's time. It really is time. Now, tell me, you got a new band now. You got some players. Well, how's it going? I know you released a little video of your first gig that you did with your newest band. What's the name of your new band?
That band is it's a variety band, and it's not really. I don't want to use my name, Robbie Jude, with that. So we're just called the Leftovers.
The Leftovers.
And we're just doing like the casinos and private events and stuff
Nice.
like that. But it's nothing major right now. But I'm going to use those musicians when I do the Robbie Jude stuff. So
That's
I guess
awesome.
we're just kind of getting tight, if you will.
Good deal. Good deal.
Yes.
Once again, Robbie Jude, former bass player, and I guess you can always say a bass player of the Al Hurricane Band. You were there. You experienced it. Being with the band, you almost lived like a family, and it must be an honor for you to have lived that moment in time with Al Hurricane. What's the mood like in New Mexico right now with everything that's happening with Al Hurricane? Is it somber? Is it?
It's very somber. A lot of. The good thing is everybody's celebrating Al Hurricane on all the radio stations. Even made the New York Times. I don't know. If
Yeah, I did that. I saw that. Made the New York Times. Yeah.
I mean, people are sad, but they're happy.
Right.
We had his music, and we're celebrating.
That is awesome. That is
Yeah,
awesome.
yeah.
Well, there's also a special tribute they're going to do for him at the kind of Civic Center eventually once it's done. Tell me about that.
Yeah, they recently named the Civic Plaza the Al Hurricane Civic Center, so they're going to be doing a memorial here sometime soon. Not sure the exact date, but within the next month or so, yes.
Awesome.
It's going to be the Al Hurricane Pavilion. Al Hurricane Pavilion.
Awesome.
That's what it's called, yes.
Well, you keep the New Mexico music going, Robbie Jude, and anytime you put a group together, I know you make it happen. And to Tobias, to Gonzalo, to Tesso, to all those guys that contributed and played for Al Hurricane. Our thoughts and prayers are with you, and you too. I know you're feeling a little down about it, but you got that spirit of strongness, and you know, our condolences are with you and everybody in the state of New Mexico, man. We'll keep
Thank you.
we'll keep it going strong. Thank you, Robbie Jude. Robbie Jude.
Thank you.
Albuquerque, New Mexico, live with us on KUHS, a bass player with Al Hurricane. It's been a pleasure having him on, and thank you so much once again, Robbie Jude. We're going over a little bit because I got one more interview. I like to do a live in studio interview coming up. He's coming up next. Stick around with us, okay? La música. Why is it doing that to me? Is that touching? Who's that?
Sorella?
Oh, Sorella. Yeah, that's good. How's that so far? Pretty good.
Nice.
Good.
Both live feeds are perfect. Look at this live feed. That's the new stream on the international.
Right.
You know, Facebook one is just nonstop.
Nice. Let's see, la de Mondo Yo soy muy sincero.
Y soy como las gaviotas volando de puerto en puerto.
Hello, everybody. This is for Al Hurricane. You know, Al Hurricane was not much of a drinker. For the first 15 years of his life, he didn't have a drink. And then after that, I think he drank a little bit. And then after that, he stopped. But all kidding aside, he was a performer, definitely. The state of New Mexico. I know every time I'm going to go to New Mexico, I'm going to think about him. And it's just weird about how we, as people, the minute we lose somebody, then they become that much bigger, you know. And iTunes actually went up in sales, and he actually talks about how when records stopped selling, how an internet came in, he was not very happy about it. But then he realized, like Danny Valenzuela said, he realized that the age of technology kind of took over, and sales were not as good, so that means he's got to do more performances, which they did. And I meant to tell you about that patch in his eye. He was driving up to Denver to do a performance. I think it was like in '67, and he was going over the Raton Pass, and the car rolled over, and shrapnels of glass went in his eye. He lost his eye. So that's the story with the patch on the Godfather of New Mexico. CSKUHS Denver.com. We are live. Yeah. Well. That's about going to wrap it up for, oh, wait a minute. I got another artist, another promoter I want to get on. Henry, can you put on headphones on, please? KUHSdenver.com. We are doing a special tribute to the Godfather of New Mexico. And to my left, I've got the producer. And you want to get in on this?
Oh, I'm in on it.
Come on,
all the way. If you can hear me here,
yeah.
I got to stay on both of them here.
We've got Henry Archuleta Promotions, and Henry, you were very instrumental in bringing Al Hurricane in with Archuleta Promotions. I remember bring a can of food and $1 and get in free. What was that?
Always that was for the migrant workers. We did a lot of those, and those are really nice for us to be doing. To help out, back in the day was the thing about the migrant workers. You remember that. It was the push with Corky Gonzalez and everybody else who used to push for the migrant workers. It was awesome. It worked out really, really, really nice. And so we used to do a lot of those. With Al Hurricane, the Adams County Democratic Chicano Caucus and all that, we always worked with all the the political arena, bringing in Al Hurricane.
Eras un político, and he used to bring Al Hurricane, yeah.
And he used to draw thousands of people to, raise funds. Federico Pena, we brought him in
Absolutely,
for him. And all the big, huge fundraisers, who would we get?
Al Hurricane.
Can you get Al Hurricane? Sure. It's a matter of price.
Right.
You want to raise money, you want to have a lot of people there. Who do you get, Al Hurricane?
Absolutely. Well, I know, and I don't know a promoter that didn't make any money on Al Hurricane, man. Everybody, I wish I would have been smart enough, but I would just go to the dances. And actually, I did one live interview. I recorded an interview for Telemundo. And I was looking for Moises, who is the videographer on that particular deal. He said, Paul, that particular interview, I erased it. I still have the one of you and Tito Puente, but he erased the one of me and Al Hurricane.
And don't forget about Al Jr. and Baby Gaby and everybody else who went along with all the big artists that would come with him. And, there's another one that used to come with him. I had some old pictures of him. I sent it to him, and you were mentioning him. And he's big now. He's living in Hawaii now.
Who's that?
And you mentioned him. He used to play with Al Hurricane.
Oh, yeah. Let's see. Yeah, it's a tip of my tongue. Anyway, yeah.
Yes, that's why I guess I was hoping you would remember. But we used to bring Tobias Rene.
Yeah.
And he's been all over. We've dealt with him, and he was going to come to Denver, and he came to Denver a couple of times.
Yeah.
And he always talks to us still. We had an interview with him and this is on Sylvia's show, which is nice. And we talked about Al Hurricane and all the things that he's done in the past. Really worked out nice.
Well, thanks to you. Thanks to KUHS for giving us the opportunity to open the studios and have people and that were directly involved with Al Hurricane. I mean, if you go to his Facebook page, there's so many people that, I got proposed to. I beat up my Dio's brother that night when you were playing Un Puni de Tierra. We had a good time, and then I went and shook your hand. My hand was all bloody, and it was a good picture. That
and it was a great dance.
It was a great dance. Once again, thank you all for listening to El Homenaje a Al Hurricane. Que Dios descanse. Para todas las familias que están escuchando, un saludo, un especial abrazo para todos de Nuevo México que ya perdieron una estrella, pero la estrella sigue brillando con la música. Así es, esperamos que no se le olvide. Y no se olvide Al Hurricane Jr., que el corazón está muy pesado para ese señor, porque ese era his right-hand man, definitely.
One thing I'd like to thank you, Paul Chavez.
Oh, thank you.
This is really, really well done.
Thank you so much.
And the way you put this together, the way it came across, and everybody who tuned into KUHS, they knew this was coming, and they knew it was going to be a good job. But the way you presented this as a candlelight broadcast, and you said it's a celebration, which that's exactly the way you put it. You put it down exactly that. You had all the guests on here, and I commend you for doing such a fine job, Paul. You're on top of your game all the time. I always laugh. And you always come in, you got this, you got that. Bro, let's go.
Let's do this.
Let's do this.
Thank you all for listening. Once again, Deep Cuts is the name of my show every Saturday from 10 to 12. Been holding down the fort. We're talking about Henry, and thank you so much. I will be back in studio soon. Thank you for listening to this very special time, and those of you on Facebook for looking at this mug, but getting informed about the heart and soul of New Mexico music, talking about Al Hurricane. And once again, our thoughts and prayers are with the family. Que un abrazo para todos en Nuevo México, que una estrella sigue brillando. Estamos hablando de Al Hurricane. Muy buenas noches.
This time, we'd like to say goodbye to everybody via our social networking Ustream. We'd like to thank everybody around the world, because you can get up on our Facebook, or not only Facebook, on our website and view Paul Chavez. That was a great, awesome shirt that he wrote. Paul, congratulations on such a fine job. For now, we're going to say goodbye. Thanks for joining in on this special tribute to Mr. Al Sanchez, Al Hurricane.
Que viva, que viva la música, que viva la familia. Muchas gracias. Es un placer para mí haber hecho en este día, y que sigan escuchando a KUHS Denver.com. Thank you all. See you next time. Are we off?
We'd like to thank you all for joining in on this great show. We're going to sign off on this. This one's on Ustream, and it'll also be over to YouTube here in about 3 minutes as soon as we sign off. And thanks to Paul Chavez for this great tribute to Mr. Al Sanchez, of the Sanchez family, Al Hurricane. So, Paul, one last goodbye to you.
Thank you all for watching this mug. I hope you enjoyed the music. If you never heard it, get a hold of it. It's contagious. And if you hear of a New Mexico dance, go to it. You'll have a lot of fun.
And all the chicks, like he was saying.
And like my brother was saying, you get you a babe. See you guys. Love you all. Remember, you're not fully dressed unless you got a smile on your face. Ciao, baby.